Yeah, the recording is basically just to be able to go back to what happened and have a point of reference. So we don't have an agenda today. This is mostly a very open meeting for you to be able to ask questions. We can help you with some guidance of the issues that we have in our team particularly. Because we've collected a couple of issues that might be interesting to work on, to get started on with contributing and, I don't know, get familiar with the code base. I don't know how familiar you are.
Yeah, so I've been using GitLab Community Edition for a while. I maintain the team, and yeah, I've been on an administrator level. I know a little bit of stuff, and I right now I want to start contributing to the GitLab code base. Like there are some issues where I think that I need more knowledge, so I go into the code base and see what's going on. And yeah, I've been looking into it a little bit. But yeah, I have always waited for this opportunity that I get to meet you guys, because there are a lot of things that I understand, and it'd be really interesting if there's just someone who can guide me through.
I mean, there's a ton of things that we don't even understand, but no. So this is particularly about the knowledge team. So we're responsible mostly for GitLab pages, for the wiki, for our text editors. Did I miss anything, Vlad?
Everything related to Markdown, GLQL, but
yeah, correct. Yeah, I kind of bracketed that. Text editors, correct. So that's our area of responsibility, and Vlad just posted the link to an issue where we collect the current issues that we think are good community contributions, are easy to get started with. And we all kind of have some kind of context to help you get started with these issues. And we're here to review, especially in this week. So depending on the area that you feel most familiar with, the language, we have Ruby code changes. They're labeled with the Ruby tag. I'm going to share my screen at this point so I can show you what this is about. So these are the issues. So we have Ruby issues, we have Golang issues, we have a couple of front-end issues. Those are sometimes Ruby HAML and sometimes Vue.js. I think most of them are JS, right? And depending on what you pick, we have different persons that we'd recommend you talking to. So we have Naman, who's our full-time backend engineer. I'm kind of a full stack engineer personally, but I'm your point of contact if for any front-end questions, pages, front-end questions. And we have Brett, who's not here in this meeting today, who will help you gladly with Markdown. So what I recommend you doing is take a look at these issues, pick one that interests you, and contact the persons that are here in the primary reviewers or secondary reviewers stack. They'll not only review any MRs that you're gonna do, we can also help you get started with the issues if you have any questions, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So what's the field that you'd be interested in?
Maybe Golang.
All right. So Naman's your guy.
Yeah. So I would just suggest that if you have gone through any of the issues, we can talk about it. And if not, I would suggest you can go through these issues and add your comments in the issue if you are facing any challenge or if you want any guidance.
Okay.
I will be happy to help you over there. You can go through the documentation how to set up your GDK on your local. I think you must have that set up. So you just have to start the GitLab pages and go about the issue that you want to work on.
Yeah, sure. I'll take a look at the issues first and then I'll reach out to you.
Yeah. Thank you.
So, hey, have you merged any MRs before to the GitLab? Do you have your GDK? I don't know.
I just have a GDK set up. I'm a total rookie in this thing. So to do this one.
But having the GDK setup is the first biggest step.
Yeah.
I think that's a huge
it took a lot of
challenge.
time. Yeah, it took a long while to set it up.
Yeah. But
Did
yeah,
you do
once
it
you have
yesterday?
it,
Sorry, did you do it yesterday?
No.
No.
It's been on my laptop for a while.
okay.
You may want to run GDK update, and
Yeah, I'll do that.
it may give you another challenge for like an hour or so if it was running for some time. But yeah. Naman, do you want to pick any of the Golang issues?
Let me share my screen. Is it visible?
Yeah.
Okay. So there are a couple of issues in Golang. I'll just pick up the smallest one first, then the bigger one. This is the smallest one. I think from my discussion with Jaime, we just have to refactor this code and change the reference from H to A and anything else that you can suggest on that front. It is just a refactoring of the code. The second one, this one, try to get certificate in internal TLS. So right now, if you go to this discussion, in the old MR, so in the old MR, get certificate is a part of app.go file, but the suggestion is to move it inside internal./TLS. So it is also refactoring of the code and just adds couple of tests if so that it can be not a bigger test, just a smaller test around it when we move it inside that. The third one, these two MRs issues, content negotiation and assert log fields are populated correctly. These are weight 3 issues. So these are little big issues to work on, but you can pick any one of them and start working on these two issues. So first I would suggest you pick up one of the smaller issue so that you have the idea of how to test it, how to run the pages, and then you can move on to this bigger issues.
Got it.
Yeah, one note, the second one that
This one?
Naman has mentioned, the try to move get certificate. There was another contributor who already wanted to work on it.
Oh, okay. It is
Yeah,
already
and another thing I just remembered, I'll be working today with the community contributor success team on setting up the fork for GitLab pages. At the moment, we don't have a community fork.
okay.
I don't know. Do you know what is it?
You're asking Nibla?
Yeah, and I also, I'm sorry, I don't, how to pronounce your name if you can.
You can call me Sumant.
Sumant, okay. So do you know how community forks work?
Not exactly. Is it basically a fork which changes into community editions?
So sometimes the problem that you run into contributing to the GitLab is that we have very long pipeline, and they will just eat all of your all of your free CI minutes.
Yeah.
So for that, we have the GitLab community forks. I'll send the link shortly. But it's basically like a public project. You can open small issue. We add you to it, and then yeah, it's like you have developer access to that project, but like you don't use your own free CI minutes there. So it's like exactly the same environment as we use, for example, for development. Yeah, I'll send a link. Give me a second. And we have a new person joining.
We have another
Welcome.
participant, yeah. Hi, Preeti. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yes, sorry.
Hi.
Hi.
I think we're having a couple of people joining after the fact, which is fine. I'm just gonna run through the whole hello thing again. We're the knowledge team, which is part of the plan stage, which is part of the development division. So we're responsible for a small subset of features in GitLab, which are related to GitLab pages, our text editors, our wiki, Markdown, and I think this time I got all of it. And yeah, we've collected a couple of issues that belong to our area of responsibility in the link that Vlad posted at the very beginning of the chat. I don't know if you have access to the whole chat history. I think so.
Yeah, I've gone through.
Okay. Yeah, correct. So I really recommend you take a look at that issue, because we're listing a ton of issues that we think are really good community contributions to get familiar with the code base. I mean, do you want to talk about what area you'd be interested in? Front end, back end, Golang, Ruby?
Handy for me, but backend side of it, I would love to contribute more.
All right. So we have a couple of issues that are labeled backend. So they all are mentioning which kind of language they're in, Ruby or Golang. So I'd recommend just going through the list, picking an issue that you find interesting, and then connect with one of us. Probably best to contact whoever's in this list of primary or secondary reviewers. If you have any questions, you can post a comment into the issue and mention one of these people. That's probably the best path forward. Well, we're all here and ready to respond and ready to review, especially this week, but even after that.
Sure. One more thing, if I want to discuss something on the issue itself, so should I do it on the this issue only, or to the channel itself?
I think I didn't quite get that. Can you?
You have mentioned this contribute channel on the Discord. So if I have to discuss something on for the issue, so should I mention it on the contribute channel as well as?
I mean, you don't have to know. I think we work primarily off the issues in GitLab. We monitor the community Discord as well. So if you have kind of a side question, you can ask there. There's always people who are ready to help. But in the issue, we personally work primarily in the issues, so you probably get a more timely response there from the right person.
Yeah, and if you have questions now, we can discuss it on that call as well.
Correct. Yeah, that's what we're here for.
Yeah, just in addition to what Preeti asked, basically you'll be available through the comment section, right? I think that's where most of the discussions would happen. Or is there any other medium from where we can reach out to you guys?
No, that's definitely the core area. Issue comments, MR comments, that's how you can get us. But if you just don't get a response from someone, feel free to use the community Discord. And there's probably our contributor success team that's in there as well that can help you ping the right person if they don't respond themselves. But yeah, all of us have access to the GitLab comments, so that's probably the most straightforward way. But yeah, I see that sometimes Discord is a little bit easier for nice little side chit chat. But
yep, I'll be there
both
to
work.
watch.
Yeah.
One more thing, like a basic question, like how much time is required to change the pull request to MR? Like,
So what I understood is how much time is it required for these issues? It depends on the weight. Like we're specifying the weight, so the higher the weight, the longer this issue we expect to take. But it's more in relation to each other. Like a weight 1 is very quick, 2 is sometimes less quick. It doesn't mean that those issues need to be completed within this hackathon week. Feel free to take as much time as you need, as you like, as you want. Even if you think, oh, I started this issue, I don't know how to go any further, you're allowed to just drop it, just let us know, and move on to something else. You're doing work for free, so feel free to just experiment with it and as much as you like, right? Did that answer your question?
yes.
I'm not sure. Maybe there is another part of it. Kind of, if you want your merge requests to be included in the hackathon results and all that, then you'll have 1 month since the start of the hackathon, I believe. At least that's what our official hackathon page says.
Yeah, but that's mostly just for the publicizing part of it. So whenever your MR is finished and merged, it will land in the product. That doesn't have to be within the hackathon timelines. So it's just if you want your name to be listed, you'll have to finish within 1. That's about it.
Yeah. Any more questions? Anything you wanted to know?
Will we get a cookie once we're done with the merge request?
I'm not exactly like sure on what's contributor success team. I see that we have some prizes for the like first, second place, and if you merged any merge requests, and you can use them in the contributor success store. I'm just
Yeah.
learning it as you go. but-
I was just messing around.
Yeah.
Kidding.
Oh, nice. You can have a nice t-shirt and still
Yeah,
have
that'd be
15 points left after for just one merge request,
Yeah.
whatever
So
it can be.
I had all this question as well. GitLab is the largest org which has the remote workers, right? I
I
mean,
don't know if we're the largest one, but we're very large. Yeah. And we're fully remote. Like there's not a single person sitting in a GitLab owned office.
wow.
And we're spread all around the world. I mean, yeah, Vlad is in the Netherlands. I'm in Germany. Naman's in India.
Right. So, I mean, there's a personal question of sorts. Do you get time to bond with the team and all? I mean, isn't it easy when it's offline and you're meeting together? I mean, spending most of the time. But how do you manage it when you're all of you are working remote? So, a little bit more context. I've just started my job. Like it's been like 6, 7 months. So, and a little bit of my team operates remotely. So yeah, how do you guys do it?
Sorry, Yanis, you still sharing the screen?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I'll need to cut it out on the recording. So sorry, Sumant, for interrupting you.
Sorry about that.
You can go ahead.
Yeah, I just basically wanted to ask how you guys manage it. More of a personal question.
Who is going to answer? Or I can go ahead.
Go ahead.
So yeah. So basically, we have weekly meetings. We have one-on-one meetings going on per week. So that way we communicate with each other. And the basic idea of GitLab is everything is open and public. So as a community, we try to communicate over the issues and MRs so that anyone can look into it, and it is not stored in any email or anything. So everything is public, and it helps to uh, fast increase the pace of the delivery as well as collaboration across the GitLab. And if you go to the GitLab's credit values, so those values people try to obey in, I mean, try to live in this job. So we try to uh, what I can say, evaluate ourselves on those values, and this way everyone can contribute.
Yeah, on the bonding part of it, we also have like regional meetings sometimes. I went to Switzerland a couple of years ago. We have a bunch of folks in the Netherlands, so we do co-working days when we just all go to the same place. We also had a large all company event in the US starting this year. I wasn't there, but Naman was, I think. Yanis, I think you also weren't there, right? You didn't
In the
go to the
what?
last summit.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah.
Just had a kid, yeah.
So yeah, we have some time to see each other, not as much as in office workspaces.
I mean, the work is absolutely, it's a big shift going from an office-based workspace starting at GitLab. It's a big shift in mentality, and you have to commit to that shift. But once you've done that, it's just a very normal way of working. You know, you end up with this is the way that work should be. And it's a lot easier being able to kind of search your whole work history. Like everything's an issue, everything's an async communication that is searchable and traceable and text-based. And there's no person who just sits in the corner all day and that you need to be friendly with because they know how everything works, because that kind of ends up happening in office-based workspaces. On the bonding part, yes, it's a lot more work building a team, integrating into a team here, mostly because you have to be active about it. In an office-based workspace, that just happens naturally. You go to lunch together, you get into conversations, you get to know your co-workers. In an async-based workspace, you have to be actively searching that person-to-person relationship, because the things you do naturally are the ones that are work-related.
Right.
You ask your colleague about this MR or that code change. Yes, that is something that needs to be done anyway. And the social part is not something that needs to be done, but it still needs to be done in order to kind of build a social relationship. So you have to be, you have to do it to want to do that. And I think I'm not as good in that area as I'd like to be. But if you're behind it and if you do that, it still works, especially given that sometimes we have those team days, co-working days, those happen in every country, but usually not with the people on your team, but with other people in the organization. But that again has the nice effect that you get to know very, very different parts of your organization, because those happen to be in the city you live in. It's a very interesting way of working, and it's very different to an office-based one, but it's a great one anyway.
Yeah, people in Mumbai meet once or twice in a 6 month, or people in Bangalore meet once in a 3 months, just for the co-working space or on lunch or anything. So that way they try to bond with the people around them.
Got it. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
I wonder if we wanna continue till the top of the hour or just cut it short if we don't have more questions, more people joining. Or we think people will join in the last 5 minutes.
I'd say we'll stay on. We don't have to keep making conversation if you don't want to, but I think we should still offer the opportunity for someone to join in the last minute. I don't think it's going to happen anyway, but just in case it does, for the 5% chance it does.
I think we need to just figure out how we can publicize these issues so that people contribute more on that side.
One thing that I noticed from the discussion between Brett and the contributor success team is that we changed the labels again, and we changed it to, I believe, low-hanging fruit or something like this.
Quick win.
Quick win, yeah.
Yep.
So if you consider something a relatively small thing, you can go ahead and apply it. I'm not sure how I feel about it, to be honest. I like the seeking community contributions label more. But okay.
Yeah, I don't think there's 100% overlap between those two.
Sumant, how long you've been on the community Discord for GitLab?
This is fairly recent, like around maybe 2-3 months, but I'm not that actively monitoring.
How much stuff happening there? What do the people do? Like ask each other questions and so on?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I rarely follow that. I do catch up on issues on GitLab sometimes. So I keep posting and then I talk to the GitLab guys there.
Okay.
So if I wanted to work on an issue, I can reach out to them directly, right? Whoever is the person who's assigned to that issue.
I mean, you will be assigned to that issue and you can just comment on the issue. Yeah.
Okay. In case I want to talk to them, that has to be done through the comments of that particular issue, right? There's no way of reaching out to them otherwise.
No,
You-
that's the best way to contact them.
Right. Yeah.
The very first time, yeah, you just comment on the issues. Then it depends. Like in the past, I was even doing sync calls with people, just because they had very weird test failures. And after a couple of weeks discussing it on the issue comments, like you just get tired and like, yeah, let's jump on a call and debug. Funny thing that this particular example that was issue looked relatively trivial. It kind of what Yanis created with just add a GraphQL endpoint. But then it turned out that there were like two or three bugs in our libraries that were just not working, and everything was like crashing in very weird ways. And it took me and another staff engineer at GitLab like 3 hours to debug that stuff. I'm sorry for that community contributor who was doing it, but they were good about it and actually liked the whole experience. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what we assign as weight is a guess, right?
Yeah.
It's always, it never ends up being that way. Anyway, this is my experience. Yeah, correct. I think that hinted to something that I wanted to mention. So once you've settled on an issue that you like, you can set yourself as an assignee or get one of us to set yourself as an assignee. I'm not sure if you can do that yourself. I think GitLab bot can help. We'll have to look that up in the community contribution guide. But you should be the assignee there. So the assignee is the person that works on resolving that issue. There's always the author of that issue who originally created it. They are usually the person with the most context on the issue, that know why they've opened it, why they've written it that way. But they may not be the person anymore that handles the issue. Like sometimes a person writes an issue that is for someone else, or sometimes it's even a community created issue. So they may not be the best person to contact for any questions on how to resolve the issue. They are great for explaining why the issue exists and why it is an issue, but they're not always the person that can solve it best. So that's what the section in our issue, who to assign reviews to and ask questions, is there for. Those are the persons that can help you with resolving the issue or writing the code that should resolve the issue, that can help you with the MR or with test failures. And those are usually just based on what category the issue falls into, whether it's a Golang backend issue or a front-end issue or a markdown issue. So for that, just look at what kind of labels your issue has, and what labels in the category stack thing overlaps, right?
Yeah. Let me actually quickly show you. I'll send a link to that page as well. You see the contribute to GitLab development, right, page. If you just look for GitLab bot on it, you have a few comments. This is basically like you open a you create a new comment or what on issue or merge request saying GitLab bot, and it has a few good comments. I'm not sure if I can find them exactly here, but most useful ones are help. It's just like a generic way to get attention of our team. If, for example, specific person doesn't answer, just type this and somebody from the contributor success will get to you.
Got it.
And another one is GitLab bot ready. This is basically to assign merge requests if you don't know who to assign them to. You just type this and all our automation will work for you, find a reviewer for you. If it won't be a right reviewer, he will reassign to another person and so on. But yeah, I'll send a link to this page. I think it has a lot of useful stuff in there. Yeah, it's in the Zoom chat. By the way, Yanis, you may want to add some of this to some of the issues that you created this quick win label.
Hmm.
But in that case, we need to edit the description and add a title of implementation, something different. I mean, it's not implementation guide for quick win. It's something different.
They updated it. I saw Daniel updated something. Let me see.
We have quick win scoped label first time contributor.
Oh, nice. You can apply to, we can apply it to some of those.
Yeah. And I will do that.
Okay, now you can have three ways of writing this. We can write implementation, implementation plan, and implementation guide. So yeah.
Do you guys do this meets often?
Well, we don't do we do the hackathon once a year, and for that we do those meets, but we accept community contributions throughout the year, just not particular with this kind of organization around it.
Right.
This level with office hours and not whatnot.
But I
But
think
we're
maybe community like contributor success team does something like this. Give me a second, I'll try to find it. Yeah, I'm not sure if they do it on any sort of regular cadence, but I'll try to find. We definitely have a YouTube playlists with the past recordings.
I don't think anyone else will be joining, right? At this point.
Yeah, it's the last minute, so yeah, I guess we can stop. That was the first real office hour, which we did as an office hour, not a predefined agenda with a lot of point. So
Yeah. I mean, that's the point here.
yeah,
No agenda, just
I like it. Anyway, thanks everybody for joining. Thanks to Yanis for hosting this, answering all the questions, and yeah, Suman, nice having you here. Hope you have a good time contributing. Reach out to us at any time.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Vlad.
all right.
Thanks, Anna.
Bye, everyone.